Good morning. Court will come to order with the Boyle County Fiscal Court, May 14th, 9 a.m. Has this meeting been properly advertised, and do we have a quorum, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all for being here today. We're in a new location. We want to thank the City of Perryville for allowing us to use this space this morning while ours is temporarily out of service at the courthouse. And Magistrate Ellis, would you lead us in our invocation, please?
Thank you, Judge. Let's bow in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity to get together once again to serve our constituents all throughout Boyle County. Thank you in particular for our friends in Perryville for giving us this opportunity to be on site in their city council hall. We're working to reach out to all community members all throughout Boyle County. We want to meet the needs of everyone, and we want to do that with an eye toward financial impacts that it has on our constituents. Dear Lord, we're a divided nation at this time. We're a divided world. Please help us to come together for the good of mankind. And last and of most importance, please be with all of our young people graduating from high school and college this year, and guide them on their life path. We pray this all in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Magistrate Ellis. All right, next we will have our pledge, and being we are in Perryville, it's only fitting that we have a student from Perryville Elementary School. We have Hazel Ellis with us this morning, and she is going to come up to the microphones and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and she's in the 5th grade, and she is the daughter of Matthew and Renee Ellis. Go ahead, Hazel.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we have you a certificate, and we'll bring it down to you. Okay, next we have prior meeting minutes, and we have two sets of minutes. We have the April 23rd minutes, and we have a special meeting on May the 1st minutes. Motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a motion by Magistrate Bodner. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Gay. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay, and then next we have our bills to be approved. Miss Elena?
Good morning.
All right. Today's bill total is $3,670,784.59. And then after you hear from our interim treasurer, there's going to be a movement of funds. And I'm also going to need permission to expend the $50,000 from our Parks Facilities Repair and Maintenance Supply Line to Junction City.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Gay, second by Magistrate Harmon. Is there any discussion on the bills? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next, our interim treasurer, Shannon Green, will have budget transfers and cash transfers.
Okay. Budget transfers, I have a $50,000 from the Parks Rec Supply Equipment line to the Parks Facility Repair and Maintenance line.
Make a motion.
Did you make that?
I make that motion.
Motion by Magistrate Bodner. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Gay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Discussion.
You had discussion? Okay.
That is strictly out of the line item that we have in our agreement with the city, correct? It's not above and beyond.
It's not.
No, it's based on what we did at last meeting, that Magistrate Bodner requested the
Remember, we had it
50,000.
set with the grant, and we
Yes,
took it
okay.
away from
Yeah.
them.
All right, thanks for that clarification.
All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Cash transfers, I have $1 million from our money market fund to the general fund, $150,000 from general fund to public works, $150,000 from general fund to EMS, and $10,000 from general fund to the fleet.
Okay,
Make a motion, we approve the the budget transfers as presented.
okay, we have a motion by Magistrate Gay, a second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, next we have a proclamation for Building Safety Month, and Rusty is here with us today because he is our building inspector. Would you like me to read it, or do you want to read it?
You're great at it. Go right ahead. Well, before you do that,
Okay.
reason we do this every May is Building Safety Month, and the state's really honest to do this because Kentucky leads the nation in these proclamations, not the amount of them. So I'll probably be coming back every May. So
All right.
thank you.
Okay. So, Building Safety Month is the month of May 2024, whereas our county is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role our homes, buildings, and infrastructure play, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the Internal Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our local code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Mission Impossible, the theme for Building Safety Month 2024, encourages us all to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local and state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, I, Trilly Bottom, Judge Executive of Boyle County, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in Building Safety Month activities. Thank you, Rusty, for the job that you do, and we know that we wouldn't have as good a county as we have if we didn't have you behind the helm. So,
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
that was
it
a
very much.
mouthful, wasn't it?
that was a mouthful. How about if I just stand up here?
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rusty.
Thanks a lot.
We have a motion to approve that proclamation.
So move.
Magistrate Ellis, second.
Second.
Magistrate Bodner. All those in favor of the proclamation motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, we've got several of these to go through. So next is EMS Week. It's coming up next week, but we're meeting this week, so we're going to do this today. So EMS Week is May the 19th through the 25th of 2024, and if all of our EMS personnel that are here today would stand, I'll read this. Yeah, half of our audience, great. All right. Whereas emergency medical services professionals are dedicated to saving lives and providing critical care to those in need, often in the most challenging and high-pressure situations. And whereas EMS professionals are highly skilled, well-trained, and committed to providing compassionate care to patients and their families, and whereas EMS Week is an opportunity to recognize the important work of EMS professionals and to express our gratitude and appreciation for their service to our communities. And whereas EMS Week also provides an opportunity to educate the public about the vital role of EMS in our healthcare system, and to encourage everyone to learn more about emergency preparedness and response. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Trilly Bottom, and the Boyle County Fiscal Court do here proclaim May 19th through the 25th, 2024 as EMS Week. I call upon all citizens, businesses, and community organizations to join me in recognizing the dedication, sacrifice, professionalism of EMS professionals. Let us express our gratitude and support for their tireless efforts to save lives and provide critical care to those in need. And let us commit to working together to build stronger, healthier, and more resilient communities for all. I have a motion to approve EMS Week proclamation.
I make a motion.
Magistrate Bodner, second by Magistrate Cullen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Guys, thank you all for the tremendous work that you do. Director Rogers, thank you. Y'all are going to make me come down for this one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on up, guys.
Everybody in the front.
So I was gonna wait to do this during our meeting reports, but I can tell you right now that we learned this morning that our EMS crew was given a grant to teach the first ever crisis intervention for first responders. It's the first one in Kentucky that they've got. So this is, Mike, what are we up to? Grant number 4 or 5 this year for the various things you guys are starting out and being a leader in the state of for EMS care.
Once again, a county of firsts.
Yep, that's correct. So thank you guys for that.
So I encourage everybody next week to show a little love to our EMS staff and team out there. If want to send them a little something or just send them a card just to say thank you for what they do. I know they would appreciate it.
Cards aren't as tasty as food.
Cards aren't as tasty as food, but you know. All right, next, Sheriff Bottom. And is there any other law enforcement in the room? You'll stand. Yeah. Okay, we have a proclamation for next week as well. I'm sorry, it's this week. I was looking at the wrong one. This week is Police and Law Enforcement Week, May the 5th through the 12th. And so this goes out to Sheriff Bottom and his department and any other law enforcement officials in our county. Whereas our law enforcement officers put their lives on the line every day to protect our communities, maintain order, and ensure our safety. And whereas the men and women of law enforcement uphold the highest standards of professionalism, courage, and integrity while working tirelessly to serve and safeguard our citizens. And whereas Police and Law Enforcement Week is an opportunity to recognize the dedication, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment of our law enforcement officials. And whereas this week also provides an opportunity to honor those officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty and to express our gratitude to their families for their immeasurable sacrifice. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Trilly L. Bottom, and the Boyle County Fiscal Court do hereby proclaim May the 5th through the 11th, 2024 as Police and Law Enforcement Week. I call upon all citizens, businesses, and community organizations to join me in expressing our appreciation and support for the brave men and women who serve and protect our communities. Let us honor their service and sacrifice and pledge to continue to work together to create safer, stronger, and more resilient communities to all. I have a motion to approve the Police and Law Enforcement Week proclamation.
So moved.
Magistrate Gaze, or a second? Magistrate Sleeper? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. And same thing for the Sheriff's Department. I'm sure they'd appreciate a little love up there in the office too. So anybody that would like to share something with them, I know they would appreciate it.
Believe it or not, I don't like donuts.
It's not all about you.
He's more of a cupcake kind of guy.
Banana pudding. All right, next we have Director Johnson. Where'd he go? There you are. All right, you the only one with your crew here? Okay, that's good, that's good. All right, so next week is Public Works Week, and we want to recognize our Public Works Department and all the hard work that they do in keeping our counties looking good and keeping the roads fairly smooth. So all right. Whereas Public Works professionals play a critical role in building and maintaining the infrastructure, facilities, and services that are essential to our daily lives, including roads, bridges, water systems, waste management, and public buildings. And whereas the men and women who work in public works are dedicated to ensuring the safety, health, and well-being of our communities and work tirelessly to provide high-quality services that meet the needs of our residents. And whereas Public Works Week is an opportunity to recognize the important work of public works professionals and to express our gratitude and appreciation for their commitment to public service. And whereas Public Works Week also provides an opportunity to educate the public about the vital role of public works in our communities and to encourage everyone to learn more about the infrastructure and services that support our daily lives. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Trilly Bottom, and the Boyle County Fiscal Court proclaim May the 19th through the 25th, 2024 as Public Works Week. I call upon all citizens, businesses, and community organizations to join me in recognizing the dedication, sacrifice, and professionalism of public works professionals. Let us express our gratitude and support for their tireless efforts to build and maintain the infrastructure and services that support our communities. And let us commit to working together to build stronger, healthier, and more resilient communities for all. Motion to approve the Public Works Week proclamation.
So moved.
Magistrate Gates, second. Magistrate Sleeper. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. And same thing goes for our Public Works Department. They work hard, and we don't do these proclamations just to be flippant about anything. I mean, they're actually to recognize the people that work in our county and that do great things and that help our community to be safe, secure, and have a great public infrastructure. So it's worthwhile. I know it takes a little bit of time, but it's worthwhile to do it.
Well, and remember, it's they're repairing the things we break.
Right.
Thank you.
Pizza and donuts.
Pizza and donuts. Pizza and donuts.
Sausage biscuit in the morning.
There you go. All right, and this next one was actually it started on the 6th, so we did the proclamation on Facebook so that we could go ahead and mark the week as starting out. But it's Deaf Awareness Week, and it was May the 6th through the 12th. Whereas Deaf Awareness Week is an annual event that takes place during the first full week of May and serves as an opportunity to raise awareness and promote understanding of deaf culture, history, and issues facing individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing. Whereas the deaf and hard of hearing community has made significant contributions to society in various fields, including education, art, science, and technology, and have demonstrated resilience and perseverance in the face of challenges and discrimination. Whereas it is important to recognize the diversity within the deaf community, including those who use American Sign Language, those who use other forms of sign languages, and those who rely on assistive technology in speech reading. Whereas access to information and communication is a fundamental human right, it is essential to ensure that individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing have equal access to education, employment, health care, and other services. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Trilly L. Bottom, and the Boyle County Fiscal Court do hereby proclaim May 6th through the 12th as Deaf Awareness Week, and urge all citizens to celebrate the diversity and richness of deaf culture, learning more about the issues facing the deaf and the hard of hearing community, and support efforts to promote accessibility and inclusion for all. Is there a motion to approve the Deaf Awareness Week proclamation? Motion by Magistrate Ellis.
Point of
Second
order,
by
Judge. Before we make our vote, many people in this community are not aware that, once more, we're a community of firsts. Our deaf school in this community well over 150 years old, was the first public-private deaf school in the entire nation. And sadly, just this morning I was reading the newspaper, and one of the teachers for a number of years here, Sarah Ann Taylor Hughes, has just passed away. So we might close in Ms. Hughes' name and in recognition of the extraordinary achievements of the deaf school here in Boyle County.
Sarah Ann Taylor Hughes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
That was
you,
a
Judge.
second by, you're welcome. That was a second by Magistrate Cullen. Did you like to?
Well,
Magistrate-
just to echo what Magistrate Ellis said, but to say not only well over 150 years, basically they just celebrated their 200th anniversary. It was started in 1823.
Just extraordinary.
I had deaf students as teaching health science, so I had nurse aides that were deaf students. They had some remarkable, and it made me more aware of the things they have to go through to learn the same things someone who's hearing can more
Right.
easily.
It's challenging.
It's a very challenge, and they meet it head on. They really, the students I had were awesome. Yeah.
Magistrate Cullen?
Yeah, I happen to know somebody.
Yeah, I know.
Goes to KSD. It's my little mini me, and which my poor wife has to deal with two of us. But
Bless
anyway,
her heart.
Yeah, very much.
We'll pray
It's
for her.
very hard for her. So, but yeah, no, I'm very grateful. You know, as Simon started at KSD in preschool, and went there through kindergarten, and then first grade we tried to send him over to Woodlawn, and Woodlawn bent over backwards to try to make it, you know, everything it could for him to be able to learn just like the other kids. But after we did some tests and some studies, we found out he was only getting about 25 to 30% of what was being taught because it was overload between his hearing aids, the signing, teacher speaking kids, and so we moved him back this last year, and he's just flourished, and he's so happy to be, as he calls it, among his people. So I'm very grateful and blessed that we have KSD in our community.
Awesome. Thank you. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Magistrate Cullen, would you like to deliver this to KSD?
I would love to.
All right. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a Human Rights Committee appointment, and I have included the certificate. Would like approval to appoint former Mayor Ann Sleet. It's a reappointment to the Boyle County Human Rights Commission. Do we have a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Magistrate Ellis, a second by Magistrate Cullen. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Magistrate Ellis, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Judge. My wife and I have been in this community now for over 22 years, and one of the first leaders that I met was our mayor here in Perryville, Ann Sleet. She just has been an extraordinary mayor here, a very good friend, a Christian that we'd all like to emulate, and I'm just so pleased and honored to call her a friend. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, and Mayor Sleet, if you'll come up, I will present you with your certificate. You're all pretty in pink this morning. I love it. Okay, we got Steve Sleeper in the middle.
There you go. We don't want to ruin that picture. Be careful now.
You guys are getting a little close over here.
I know.
Appreciate the service that you give to your community.
Absolutely.
And Mayor Sleet has not stopped.
Absolutely not.
No, I had dinner with her last night, so she, she does not stop. All right. Next, EMS Director Mike Rogers, and I've got 3 items of business for you, Director Rogers.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Commissioners. I have, first agenda item today is a mutual aid agreement with AmeriPro, which is has the 911 contract for Mercer County. It's a standard agreement that we do with all mutual aid counties.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Magistrate Cullen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion on the agreement? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you. Is the gelato next on the?
Airevac?
Airevac contract. I have base manager Donald Harry with me, who we're going to enter into a contract with Airevac, and basically, the long and short of it is, instead of billing the patients, we'll bill Airevac, and they'll reimburse us for the transports to and from the helipad, airport, things like that. Chris has looked at all the contracts today, and he can answer any questions about that. If you have any questions for Donald.
And this is not a renewal, this is a new.
This is a new, yeah.
We talked about it this morning, the EMS committee, and EMS committee are fine, well, I believe we're fine with it.
We're fine.
We discussed it, we didn't have any concerns, so I'll make a motion, we approve.
Okay, have a motion by Magistrate Cullen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Sleeper. Y'all three sound alike over there. I mean, I really have to pay attention to distinguish which one of you all is
It's in your best
speaking.
interest to avoid-
On this ground, on the ground transportation agreement, if you look at page 4, 6.13, it talks about governing law. I think they'd be willing to change it to Kentucky because it's Colorado.
What page is that?
Page 4.
Better put Kentucky.
It shouldn't be no issue. What page you saying?
It's page 4, and it's 6.13. It's the heading.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that now. State of Colorado.
Other than that, I think it's good. As long as you guys are good with the reimbursement numbers and all that.
Good eye, Counsel.
So, can we get that changed to Kentucky?
That's what I said, I'll have to send that up, make sure, it may be, you know, it shouldn't be no issue, but I'll send it into our attorneys to make sure there's no issues.
Okay,
And I'll get, Director Rogers a new copy.
okay, so is the motion to approve with the contingency of changing that to Kentucky, or just approve and roll on with it?
Yeah, with changes to Kentucky.
Change to Kentucky, okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
If there's any problems, you can just come back to us and let us know why. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Julota.
So the next item is Gelato, and it's a software designed specifically for our crisis intervention team that we're building. I do have a sole source letter that county attorney has also reviewed, and then the price is $16,590, and then every year after that it'll be around $5,400.
And this is from the grant,
Yeah, it'll be paid for by the grant. Yes.
coming out of the grant fund, not the general fund?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we approve.
Have a motion by Magistrate Cullen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Harmon. Any discussion on the agreement?
Yes, Judge, I'm a little confused by it, and I had an experience yesterday that might parallel it. Can you tell us procedurally what they will do operationally? Are they contacting constituents of ours?
The crisis team is not up and running yet. But a quick response team, what Terry does is he does follow up with patients after they've had an EMS encounter.
And there are no out-of-town or out-of-state contacts being made? It's strictly within the county?
Yeah.
Good, because I had an experience, I think it was overseas yesterday, with the healthcare claim, and it was awkward to say the least.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the approving the agreement with Julota signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Director
you.
Rogers. All right, next is our sheriff with his local settlement.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I love and respect all you all, and you're so special to me that I came in on my day off to talk to you.
Yay.
Right.
Vacation day, actually,
Oh,
all week.
we are special.
We have our local settlement here, and just need you guys to recognize it and get a couple signatures.
Okay.
Need a motion to recognize?
I don't have it in my,
This, you don't have this?
no, mine was blank. Oh, no, there it is.
Okay, we have to approve the sheriff's settlement. Court has to
That
approve it.
motion.
Okay, motion by Magistrate Gay,
I'll second.
second by Magistrate Sleeper. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Settlement's approved.
Given strict instructions.
Strict
Back to
instructions.
the office tomorrow. Let's call it like everybody.
Enjoy your vacation. All right.
Get you some donuts and get back on vacation.
Working, it's the honey-do list to get everything done before our second baby gets here.
Uh-huh.
Exciting.
So,
She does need a bedroom. All right, next is Public Works Director Roger Johnson, County Road Aid Agreement and Resolution.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, it's County Road A agreement. I guess we need approval on that, right?
Would you like to tell the magistrates how much we're getting?
Well, we are getting $799,245.45.
Which is more than we got last year.
More than we
Yeah.
got last year.
That was awesome.
So that is to use on whatever we need to use it for. So we just need an agreement on.
Okay, and this,
I'll make that motion and everybody else
I
can have
figured
my
you.
money.
I figured you would too.
We'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
I have a motion by
Good deal.
Magistrate Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion? This does come in different distributions. So 60% is the first distribution, then 30, and then the balance is 3% taken out for emergency funds.
Emergency funds,
So,
yes.
all right. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay, this is for the agreement and the resolution. Okay.
So that,
We're
We're good?
We're good to go.
all
Do we
right.
have that signature page ready?
Thank you. I can be passing it around. There's not really enough space for that, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can do that. Thank you, Director Johnson. Be careful.
Thank you.
I'm the one that's supposed to do that, not you.
It's got a sponsor.
That was the good thing.
If it were me, I'd be.
Well, yeah, I'm
It's like an NASCAR driver.
terrified
Terrible.
still. Okay, next is HR Director Steve Griffin.
We're requesting that you all grant, we have several people doing additional duties in the absence of our treasurer, and we're recommending that we grant Elena, Katina, and Jackie a temporary 5% increase in pay.
I'll
And
make that motion.
A second.
I have a motion by Magistrate Cullen, a second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And we have an additional request for our interim treasurer to grant a temporary increase of 20% increase.
I'll make that motion as well.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Cullen, second by Magistrate Gay. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These
Okay.
will, of course, these will terminate once we have a new treasurer. Yes, they will. Or will, okay, they'll come before us and be terminated, okay.
Okay, next is Magistrate Bodner.
Oh, yes, that's me. That's me. Yes, I've been on a long journey. Let's see, I've been here 17 months, is that it? And I think second or third month, I started mentioning a bike park. And so I'm really interested. I've got a lot of interest around the community. Of course, kids want a bike park because there's bike clubs out there. And I thought, we've got a convenience center there in Alum Springs, and we've got 80-some acres that can't be used for anything, but what could we do with it? And after talking to some people, and KIMBA, the Kentucky Mountain Bike Park Association, they have repurposed old landfills, which our landfill is 40-some years old, and they repurpose them and put them into a bike park, or I should say, I always call it a bike park, but it's actually a multi-use park. You can walk it, you know, it won't be paved, it will just be a trail that you can go out and be in nature, and I can foresee kids in schools coming out and walking down the trail and doing nature stuff. And the exercise it'll provide for our community and other communities, for anyone that wants to go to it. So I started talking with the EPA, it's an Energy and Environment Cabinet Department for Environmental Protection. And so I contacted them, and they sent me a letter, and I had them send us a new one, so everybody should have a copy of that now, where they said they recommended that a path be over areas 1 and 2 and Boyd areas 3 and 4, which in Florida they have them over the entire the entire old landfill. However, that's 1 and 2, we can make that do. So here you can see, if most everybody has that picture of it, and what areas 1 and 2 are to the far right. But anyway, they wanted those, so taking that information, we used that information to consider it. Derek Polly said he would be very interested in going along with this. He is over the old landfills. He deals with just all the old landfills. This one is 40 years. I talked to Mike Wilder. He said it'd been closed.
Tony.
Tony Wilder, and I went to school, graduated with Tony. And Tony said that it had been closed properly, so we got some information from the EPA, and you all have a copy of that saying it was terminated and it was closed properly, and the recommendations that they had all been met. So, and I've lived next to it for 47 years, 48 years, and so I know that would be a really great place for a bike park. So I'm really interested in that. I know, I would like to, we're pursuing it, looking into it, and I feel like Gary Locks, and I asked him what he thought about it, and he said, nobody's going to come and say, oh, 100% perfect, everything's perfect, but he said, I don't foresee anything bad unless you dig down, and we're not going to dig down. That's the one thing I would not do, is dig down. That's off the table. So.
I'm definitely in favor of this park. I think it would be great, and I agree with what you're saying about it being a multi-purpose park, which a lot of things could be done there. I guess I'm curious as to how we stand with the city in the fact that it's a jointly owned piece of property,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
I've had talks with Earl and a few of the council about it, and they seem really interested. I've talked to Josh Morgan and Earl and a couple others, and they seem really interested in. And in the last meeting that we had for Parks and Rec, they had some money already in their projected budget. But now I don't know, what they've done since then. But that was in the, this is what we want to do with next year. So I don't know, but I feel like they would be very interested.
Yes, I think it definitely needs to proceed as a joint
Absolutely.
city-county project.
That sounds great to me.
Magistrate Ellis.
I'm recalling last year, Magistrate Bodner, when you had the folks in here, this is truly an economic development boon for us, for all the folks who travel from all over the United States and perhaps even foreign countries who are enthusiasts for bike paths. So our restaurants, our motels, and everyone else will be beneficiaries when we move forward with this.
And that's what I had on like point 3 here. It's an opportunity to bring heads and into beds. There's some kind of saying they say where you can bring people in and increase the money we get in our hotels and our restaurants. And it's Kimba, the mountain bike people. They say they will maintain the trail. They come through and check the trail. They send somebody through to maintain just the trail itself, not the park, but the trail. And so that would be an added plus. And so, I think overall it's a great opportunity for the county to invest in something that would, possibly bring more money to the county and be overall, to me, a healthy thing for the community.
How are they going to handle the natural erosion that happens from mountain biking? Because, I'm just looking at tons of stories about erosion in mountain bike parks.
And we have 30,000 30 feet of dirt on top of that, the old landfill.
But they don't want us going down.
And the areas that we're gonna be on, a lot of those areas aren't on the landfill at all. They're steering us away from that area, so.
Most mountain bike parks they start building stuff. And so these guys know that they can't build anything on this. It's because in order to secure that, you gotta start going down into the ground. And so
Right,
if
you don't
you
build.
watch many mountain bike videos, you'll see there's lots of man-made things built on there. I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's gonna be multi-use because generally you don't want people walking on mountain bike trails because people are coming down at very high speeds, and the last thing you want is, somebody get run over because it's not a good mix. And has the city given any kind of insight about how many people use the mountain bike park we already have over by Dana Point?
I don't
out
think-
by Dana, there.
I don't even think, I didn't know about that forever, so I
And
don't
that
think.
causes me a little concern about if we have one already, and granted it's smaller.
Very small.
I've never
But-
seen that promoted though, so I know
It's
that
on our-
my
it's on our
colleague here will be promoting
Parks and
when
Rec
it is.
page, I believe, or it's on the city's Parks and Rec page, and it's promoted in that way. So
Right,
I'm kind of curious, we all would love extra tourism but, it's one of those things like, you hope if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah, that's,
But if we have
you
one
don't
that's
have
not
a
being utilized
guarantee.
already, yeah.
Excuse me.
Of course.
Yes.
I'd floated an idea like this a couple of years ago about it being some sort of trail, more of a hiking trail than a mountain bike park. I really think that's how we should still pursue it because you'll have more people hiking than you will mountain biking. And if it's a direct benefit for your community to try to get people healthier, that's easier to accomplish. Hiking is easier to accomplish than the mountain bike park. But
I've never heard that comment from you, so I haven't, the bike park people, I can talk to them more about that, because from their comments, multi-use parks are common, so I hadn't heard that it has to be just a bike park.
You have
I'd say it
different
just has to be.
paths.
Excuse me?
You have different paths, some walking trails and some bike trails.
Yes.
Is that what?
Is that what we're going to be building?
No, I don't,
Walking
I
trails?
haven't heard this concept before, so I've not even asked them about
Okay.
it. So I will ask him about it. I know with bike parks, you don't have, I don't know that for sure, so I won't say that, but, I will check into that.
Yeah, I
To
was
see
just
if the multi-use, how do they prove that both can live there safely?
If
So-
you go out to YouTube, just watch a couple mountain bike park videos, and you'll see these guys are going at higher speeds. It's not just like a little leisurely, because you're going from the top of the hill down.
Right.
And so if you've got people on there, and then will we allow any equestrian on there at all, or is this just
Excuse me? I couldn't-
horses?
Oh,
Some people would probably want to think about utilizing it for horse.
I don't think horses and bikes would go well together myself,
I don't know. I mean, when I start thinking about these kind of things, I'm thinking like, the Pinnacles out in Berea and a couple other places where, there's a lot of horseback riding, and we got to make sure if that's the case, we have signage for that too.
And in Fort Myers, my grandchildren were on a bike park about a month or two ago, and they had their little bicycles going around. It was a bike park, and I didn't see anybody, going by them and swishing by them, so I don't know. I really don't, I had never thought about, even though they were on a bicycle, they were obviously going at a lot slower speed than a mountain bike, so I'm sure they use good common sense if their people are walking around.
We just got to be careful if we're going to promote it as a
Right.
multi-use, make
Right.
sure that.
Right, I will ask more about that and see what I can get as far as, real information about it.
Judge, do we need to take action as an endorsement or a resolution?
Well, that's what I was going to ask Magistrate Bodner,
Yes.
what her
Yes.
desire was for the court to do, so.
Yes, I'm ready to make a motion to
Okay.
accept it as, as a future plan.
Are you looking at taking the suggestions from the letter
Yes.
about the different areas?
Yes.
Or are we going to include all the areas?
No, I think I'll just include at this time first and second area.
First
like
and
they
second.
suggested, and
Okay.
go with it that way and see what we can do.
How, so on your motion, is this, because like Jamie said-
Procedurally, we ought to have a second, Judge. I'll second it.
Good, thank
All right.
Okay.
I didn't even hear the motion, sorry.
I
I
just-
was,
I
you.
made-
That's actually why I was trying to
Thinking.
get the motion,
I was-
understand the motion.
Yeah, I was
because
thinking.
It's a joint park, so do we need to have further discussions with the city before we go and, you know, make a motion? I mean, I think we kind of have to have that finalized before we go.
I could contact.
I mean, it's one thing
Earl.
if we kind of say we'd like to maybe make a motion to have a meeting with the city to see about doing a joint, you know, something, rather than just, hey, we're gonna do this, so.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest, is that the motion be something along the lines that we move to,
Coordinate.
proceed with a joint city-county bike park.
And I can amend my motion to include that.
Okay, all right.
I'll second.
So motion is to contact the city and get in discussion with them on going forward with a mountain bike park. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Judge, we have a very experienced cyclist here.
Yes.
If we could ask him if he would like to speak for the city.
That'd be great. Kept looking at.
I'm glad to make a few comments as I've been listening, and, you know, the safety concerns are huge, but we're not the first people to do this. So we can get information or guidance from other folks.
Of course.
I was personally myself on a mountain bike park with equestrian, and it's very well signed, because the horses get spooked.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I
And
heard.
the woven wire, the smaller one in Danville, we do allow people to hike. Certainly it's a park, so you can't tell them what they can or cannot do on that trail. But again, signage plays in terms of safety. Some things that we probably will learn as you go through the process. California actually has at their kiosk bells that you put on your bike, so the walkers can hear the bikes moving about. Okay, for the joint thing, absolutely. I think that we've come together as a county and city on Parks and Rec, and this is outside of Millennium Park, and Danville's okay with that. It is a Convention Visitors Bureau thing. It's economic development, and it will bring people to the city.
So how does the city handle, because we've often been told that the city will not do anything that's outside of the city limits.
No, I've never heard them say they won't.
But they own,
They
do
own this land. They
they
own
own.
this
Yeah,
that.
no, I understand that, but
50%.
it's, and Earl Coffey has said many times that they can't do things that are outside of the city limits.
They own
can't-
property
They can't
jointly with
spend
us.
money that's outside the city limits. I understand they own property, Tom, but they've said time and time again that they cannot spend money that's outside of the city limits.
I've not heard that, and we have a new pipeline through here that's 12 inches long
That's-
that they've spent all the way to the
That's
county
their
line.
municipal side, it's not their,
I think
Not the
we'll
same.
come together in that conversation. We have that meeting, and certainly the attorneys will talk. Parks and Rec is a different animal.
I understand that.
Yeah, we're coming out of the city, we're looking at the whole picture, so. And as was mentioned, and you all should know this because we went to the meetings, money is being set aside for this park. It's up in the top 10 of things that we want to get done, so. Okay.
Thank
That-
you, Commissioner.
Is that
Ferris.
helpful?
That's
Yes.
helpful,
Thank you.
very helpful,
Yeah.
thank you.
Just make sure we're all on the
Same page?
same page.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Do we vote?
Did we vote?
Did we?
No, we did not.
Okay.
I was
Well, I
waiting.
was asking, did we vote? I mean, are we up to snuff? Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Yay!
Can I clap now?
Okay, magistrate reports and comments, and Magistrate Ellis, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Judge. I have three. I'll be very brief. Number one, please come out and see the wonderful work that our Public Works and Angie have done at the Perryville Convenience Center. It's night and day different, and we're going to get some vegetation along the new fence line that will all the more make it aesthetically pleasing as people are coming and going from Harrodsburg, and even our constituents are going to take things to the convenience center. Number two, and I expressed grave concerns about this early last year, I now, this week, have gotten another contact about what I think appears to be a significant business being operated outside our ordinances, and Counselor, we're just going to have to do something about it because it's already proliferating throughout the county, not just in my district, and enforcement is in our document, and enforcement is not taking place. I'll share this with you and the judge on the new one, and I think in this case, it may be a business that's not even licensed that's operating. I do not know that to be a fact, but we've got to clear that up. And third, we are now under a short time frame. Thanks to the Kentucky General Assembly, they have passed a statute on legalizing the use of medical, and I emphasize medical marijuana, all throughout 120 counties. They have deferred the action on enabling that to those of us who sit around this room today as elected officials. And it's rather complicated, but we have, what, Julie, 45 days or less to act on this? And we can vote to allow it. We can vote not to concur with the state statute. Cities of all classifications, is my understanding, Counselor, then if we denied it, each individual city would have the opportunity to make a vote. I personally have mixed motions about medical marijuana because in some states over the years it's been severely abused. Many of us in this room, counting myself, with a plea to my physician, would qualify for its use, but there are other drugs that take care of my condition. The however there is, when I was attending those meetings in Frankfurt this year during the General Assembly, I was particularly touched by a 7-year-old girl who has a couple of dozen seizures every day, and her family has been able to find a way to get her on medical marijuana in forms that are legal. And by the way, even the complications of what products can be used are something that we'll be considering. So I'm in a balance right now about my personal feelings about it, but it really tugs at your heartstrings to know the people, whether they're 6, 16, or 60 years old or more, who might get life improvement by the use of this. So we will have to have this on the agenda, I'd say within 2 weeks, to act properly and to inform the community. Judge, those are my 3 issues for the day.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Mr. Bogner? Oh, sorry.
We only have to act if we're going to deny or limit it, correct?
No, we have to act.
We have to act by June 30th.
I thought there was something in there that said we didn't have to unless we were going to deny it.
Counselor can lead us on that, but I'm certain.
I'll read it up, it's fine. It's good to know that it's actually ingestible, it's not smoking. They do not allow any smoking under medical marijuana, which is a big deal because as you travel to other places where it is legal, it's prevalent everywhere, and it's not always best smell you want to go through or whatever. But you know, as we talk about various forms of opioid settlements here and there, I think this is a better option for a lot of people instead of the hardcore drugs where people are getting addicted, and you know, we've got several $100,000 in grant money where we're trying to undo what was done before.
And there are, I believe, 11 regions in 120 counties, which means that it may not technically be available in Boyle County, depending upon if we're one of those that has a regional hub for the distribution. And then there are at least 3 tiers of growth, Sheriff, that we'll be monitoring on the actual production of medical marijuana. So again, it's extremely complicated. We're on a short time frame to get action on it. So I just knew that it had to be mentioned today. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I think that with that, I was researching a little bit that, you know, we can pass something or like pass an ordinance, or we can pass a resolution to put the matter to a public vote. And so there's different options, not
Correct.
just us making a decision. We can allow the public to make the decision for us, or we could place restrictions or collection fees related to cannabis businesses operating within our county or city. So we need to decide what we're going to do. If we're going to make the decision for our Boyle Countyans, or we're going to let them make the decision.
I'm excited the opportunity possibly to get hemp back in the spotlight. The problem had always been in the past is that, they were worried about the THC side of it, but now that if we've got some sort of regulation on it, hemp can really kind of come back to what we thought it was going to be several years ago and utilize for the great product it is.
Just a touch of history, Judge. Henry Clay was largely responsible for the assurance of the production of hemp in the Commonwealth of Kentucky for well over a half century in competitions worldwide when sailing ships had rigs and roping all over them, and we never lost an international competition on the production of hemp in this state. And that's why it's growing on a lot of creek beds, and I know the sheriff is aware of that. But it was, everybody thinks it was horses or bourbon that built our economy. That's not true. Hemp built the first Kentucky economy.
That concludes your report?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Magistrate Bodner?
Yes, I'm real excited about the park, needless to say. Moving forward, it's a long process. It's not going to be done tomorrow. So tomorrow is, a long way away, but we have to take those first few steps to get there. So I really appreciate everybody's support on that. Let's see, well, I didn't get a new paved road on 300, but I got new lines, got new yellow lines right down the middle of 300. So I'm real proud of that. I have noticed Public Works cutting back some of the trees that are growing now. If I can get the state to do the same thing on 300 right there, I'll be doing well. But I have noticed doing some mowing and things, so I appreciate that. I do have Nosco Road. I get more complaints about that than just about anything. Got it on the list to be blacktop to the end of it. So other than that, I think we're good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Master Harmon?
I think as a court, we're heading in the right direction, and we're gonna get some bumps in the road, like all courts, but we'll attack those and deal with them and go on. And we'll do what's best for all of our people here in Boyle County, and we'll make no difference who is your magistrate, doesn't matter. We will work as one, as a court. We've done good so far, we'll do better.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Measure Cohen?
I'm going to give my report first. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So EMS committee met this morning. We talked about the Julota Software, talked about Airevac. We discussed the grant update again. We were approved by the Department of Medical Services and the state's Behavioral Health Services to teach the first ever crisis intervention for first responders. We'll host several other counties and plan on doing classes at the last week of June. It's a big deal. I mean, our EMS, not only do they provide top-notch service, but they're finding ways to engage with the community. We were given an update from Mo about what educational updates. We gave them a little bit of a challenge the other day, or a couple court sessions ago, about getting out into the community, and so we've seen that they're out with law doing CPR week. They're looking at other places to go. They're trying to get into Danville, and then Magistrate Bodner was talking about making sure they get over to Junction, although it's kind of hard at the end of the year or whatever. But they're planning ahead, and they're also engaging with BCTC as well. And they're going to have their yearly driver training in June. So they have a course set up over at the showroom. Is that what you're doing? Or Phillips Lighting.
You're going to do defensive driving?
So anybody want to get it behind the wheel and see what they have to go through in order to qualify, Mike would love to put you in there. And we also heard from Terry Dunn about the community outreach, which is know, we got the grant from UK a couple of years ago, and I'm very proud of this court that's continued to see the value in what Terry does, and reaching out to individuals, you know, after the police cars and the ambulances left because there might have been, you know, an overdose or alcohol issue or something like that, to have somebody like Terry go back over with the families and start discussing resources and how can we help you, how can we, you know, we know this is, you know, for a lot of people it's the first time they're going through this, and so you know, if we can kind of get them the help needed, or the family the resources, it may be the last time, you know, it may not be this continuous. So I'm very grateful about his work, and we, you know, we were actually down for the month last month on several things. So we also talked about the mutual aid agreement with AmeriPro. You know, I know Mercer County is going through a lot, but if you really want to see what a great service we have, you know, start listening to some of those stories coming out of Mercer County to really appreciate what we have. We are looking for a paramedic position. We had somebody that left, but luckily because of the education that we do, we have a couple EMTs going up through the paramedic class, and we'll fill that from within, hopefully. And then runs for April was 588, which is down from last month, but last month was super high. So, you know, it's good to see that the runs are kind of going down a little bit. So that's my report I submit to the court.
That's your motion to approve?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Magistrate Ellis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Brass Band Festival's coming up. So big weekend to show off our town, show off the one of the many things that the fiscal court sponsors. So bring your families, get out, celebrate, mingle with your fellow Boyle Countyans, and
That's the weekend after Memorial Day, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. This year is the 75th anniversary of Pioneer Playhouse. So go over to their Facebook page or their website to see what many things they have coming up. I'm excited to hopefully have a beautiful summer with lots of plays outside. And I had, what else? For those, we have all gotten questions about the mowing that's going on outside. As you can see, it's a little gloomy, so just remember, every time we get a week of rain, that Johnson grass grows, I think the next day about 3 feet.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not doing our jobs, or state's not doing their jobs. It's A, they have to wait for the rain to stop. B, the rain has halted them from being able to do their job, and C, now they have to go back and try to do, you know, 3 weeks worth of work in 1 week. So just remember that they're getting out there as much as they can. It's just that grass grows and grows and grows.
We've got a good Johnson guy that's controlling the Johnson grass, though.
Yeah, I've heard stories. Heard stories about him being a good supervisor is what I heard.
Yeah.
And then we talked about something before that maybe we discussed this in budget time, next budget meeting. But I think several of us did not quite understand our vote, and I'm ashamed to say it myself, about where we placed ourselves on the United Way board and what that commitment meant. We thought we were going to be getting some representation to help the United Way, you know, spend some of the United Way money. I did not understand it was going to be us contributing to the United Way for them to tell us how to spend our money. And you know, Julie Wagner, our county administrator, kind of tried making that, you know, point to us, but I don't think many of us understood that. So I'd really love to revisit that vote and discuss if that's something that we really want to do, because I have a feeling that several of us, now that we kind of understand this, do not want to do that. It was never our intention to start giving more money to more things. It was our intention to pull back the purse strings, and given the revelations of what we're going to have to face over the next several months trying to get our house in order after the release of our treasurer, I think we really need to look at that amongst other things that we will do during the budget. So I don't know how you
Do you
want.
want to have that discussion now?
I would love to have that discussion now if the court's up for it.
Special call meeting.
That's
right.
fine.
Yeah, I think, I was gonna suggest we put it on the next budget and in the meantime, we get a
On the
chance
next
to
meeting,
discuss,
Next
said
meeting.
budget.
Yeah, next meeting.
Next
next
meeting.
meeting.
Yep. Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's very
we'll
important.
get that on the agenda for second meeting.
And I'm going to turn over about 5 minutes of my time to our Main Street Perryville director to kind of talk about some of the wonderful things that you've got planned up for this summer. I'm excited. Allie, do you mind coming up and talking about many things that we've got going on in Perryville and all the reasons people should be coming down here this summer?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So we've got a summer full of exciting things. One of our newer event series is the Barrel Park Summer Nights, which we started last year and had great success. So we're doing it again this year, which is live music, block parties, movies. So that's going on first Friday of the month from May through August. Unfortunately, the first one, the rain canceled us out, but that just happens. And so we're planning for the next one. We're just going to have a water slide, so it doesn't matter if it rains or not. And so then Turtle Derby is coming up, which you know is our largest fundraiser of the year in July, and that's underway. That we have a wonderful promotions chair, and she's so ahead of the game that we feel like we're behind because everything's ready to go. So, but turtle sales are up and live, so make sure you get your turtles. We backed off a little bit from last year, and so we are back to a smaller amount of turtles. We earned more the year before when we did that, so we only have 2,000, and they're already going. So you better get them before July. One of the new things there is we have a dog show, like a dog pageant happening, trying to just reach more people to come down here. Our merchants, I will praise them. They have been working really hard, created a merchants group. They are themselves creating shopping events, and we just get to promote them because they're working really hard. They want people here, and they're devoted to it, and so I'm really proud of them, and we've got a great set of merchants.
Have you seen a lot more foot traffic?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing, and we've had to have discussions, as everyone knows, about parking, as to inform people where they can park. You know, they all want to park right in front of their store, but Perryville's got a little Z-Walk, as I call it. You can start on one end and make your way around, and easy to go and hit up every store you want to, and every restaurant. So, and one of the last things is this weekend we have a Spring Tea, which is a new fundraiser event at the Carrick Parks House. We have tables for sale if anyone would like to do that. Hopefully, if the rain holds off, we'll have it in the lawn at the Carrick Parks House. The Carrick Parks House will be open. As you know, that is our kind of crown jewel space here in Perryville, and it is in desperate need of preservation. And so, unfortunately, it's going to cost a lot of money, but we're working really hard to find the right people to help us do that. And so, come and have some tea. Let me know if you want to come. We'll get you a table, and you can bring whoever you want, and some croquet, because the Carrick Parks had a croquet game that lasted 50 years on Sundays after church. So, there we go. And
Thank you very
hopefully,
much.
since you're here, I know it's the 10-mile trek this way sometimes seems like a distance, but since you're here, just take a drive around, see all the businesses, see what's happening. There's just a lot going on here, and we're just really proud of it.
Stop and have lunch.
Stop and have lunch.
We may
New
need to
Rancho
order-
for
I
the
think we
best
may need to
Mexican
order
and
lunch.
pizza
We may need to.
in Boyle County.
We may need to order lunch today.
Yes. Yeah.
About how many Airbnbs do you have in town here? Do you know?
We have 3 Airbnbs and then a true bed and breakfast. We have the only true bed and breakfast in the county.
Okay.
So that's about. So the true bed and breakfast has 3 rooms and then 3 Airbnbs on top of that, and they stay booked a lot. The one down on Merchants Row, they are constantly full.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So they're doing well. We're trying to help promote, and Kendall at CVB, who has been a godsend for our county. He's amazing and promotes that, and they're having great success. The Airbnbs are. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for letting me put you on the spot.
Well, thank you for letting me talk.
But
Y'all know I love to. So
Thank you.
call me, come see me. Check out Perryville. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
I'm done.
That concludes your report?
I'm done.
And that's your gay?
Just a couple of things, in addition to the Brass Band Festival coming to our county and in particular District 5.
Yes.
We also have the farmers market is up and running on Saturday morning, so I'd encourage everyone to get down and visit the farmers market in Constitution Square. And so a lot going on down there on Saturday mornings. And then I would also want to acknowledge the fact that this coming weekend is Center's commencement. And so it's a good, another reason to get everything spruced up and looking good, because we have literally visitors from, we have parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters coming to Danville this weekend for commencement from all over the country and in some cases all over the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Measure Sleeper.
All right, I'd like to extend my thank you to Jailer Brian Wolford for serving us a wonderful breakfast. He and his crew, amazing crew, on April 26th. And then on May 9th, Judge Bottom and I participated in a Boyle County Comprehensive Plan meeting with Lyndon Smith from the AEAD Area Development. The group looked at and discussed strategic benefits of sites for industrial development within the county. EDA, Economic Development Authority bylaws have been developed, and they were presented yesterday to County Attorney Chris Herron for review. I just sent those to you yesterday. You may not have even seen them yet.
I've seen the email.
Yeah, okay. And last evening I attended the annual Danville Salvation Army dinner to benefit their local youth program, and they're doing some amazing things. Judge Bottom was there as well. And the keynote speaker was Bill Meck, and he's my favorite meteorologist.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He did. It was a great story. He gave his life story. It was really, truly inspirational. And to conclude my report, I'd like to, on a more personal level for me, Saturday I attended the Light Homeschool Cooperative High School commencement, in which my granddaughter Rachel Cook graduated. And a week ago she shared at our senior Sunday celebration at Centenary Methodist Church. She shared her extraordinary, miraculous life story, in which she was 3 months premature, weighed 1 pound 4 ounces, or as she likes to say, she was the size of a Coke can when she was born. And in which her survival was in doubt, but she ended up being a nationally ranked level 10 gymnast, which is 1 step below Olympic level. So then she put it all aside, though, because she wanted a normal teenage life instead of spending her life in the gym. So, and we're glad she did. I look forward to going to the Olympics sometime in the future, but that's not going to happen now. But I'm really thankful because we get to spend a lot more time with her, and she's a real blessing to the community of Danville and Boyle County by things she's involved in and such. So, thank you for indulging me on that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. We need to brag on our family members, so that's perfectly fine.
And just speaking as an athletic trainer, there's nothing more physically demanding and hard on your body than being a high-level gymnast ahead of only high-level cheerleading, which is something a lot of people don't recognize. There's nothing higher risk than gymnastics and high-level cheerleading as far as high-risk athletic endeavors.
All right. Thank you all very much. County Attorney.
Yes, I hate that Sheriff Bottom left, because I was going to just talk about a program that we're going to have June 7th. It's called Cops in Court. I've got our Kentucky Traffic Safety Resource Prosecutor coming down, and the course is called Cops in Court, and it's to help train sheriff's deputies and police officers on how you prepare for court and testifying. I think they go through a mock trial for DUI, so we have 20 spots available. If you all would encourage Sheriff Bottom and also Tony Gray to have all their officers sign up for this, because I think it's really important for our court, for our county, for our city to be prepared for when I'm prosecuting different types of cases, criminal cases involving DUIs, assaults, and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to that program. And on another note, I'd like to congratulate the Danville Bait Bulldogs for getting runner-up in the Salt River soccer championship last night, and also I had to think of what their mascot was for a minute. And also the Boyle Middle School girls, Eagles, my daughter plays for that team, they were runner-up also in that conference, so that's a big accomplishment. This week we're having, I help with Boyle County tennis, high school tennis. It's the region tournaments are going on. We had it going on yesterday at both the Bait courts and also over here at Millennium Park. And we had good weather yesterday, but today's unfortunately been canceled. But Boyle County did very well yesterday. They only lost one match. It was just boys yesterday, and so they had to play 2 matches. Everyone had to play 2 matches. So if you win 3, you make it to state. So hopefully some of our boys will be able to make it to state and win another match. And also our girls, we have a really good girls team. So I look forward to watching them play. And other than that, thank you. Yes, Jailer Wolford, the food was great. Anytime you have breakfast, please don't hesitate to invite us. I'll be there. And that's it.
All right, thank you. Julie, did you have anything? Yeah.
I just briefly want to say that in light of not having a treasurer, I think we have assembled, we called ourselves the Mark Pope Dream Team yesterday. So we are all, just to give you some comfort, we feel like we have a really good handle on everything. We're catching each other and saying, did you do this? And most likely they've already done it. So I just wanted to say that everybody is cognizant of what this is and what we have to do. And I feel pretty good about everybody, what they're doing. So I just wanted you to know that. So.
Thank you.
And I hope I didn't steal your thunder.
No,
Okay.
you're good. No, you're good. You're good. All right.
I forgot to say one thing. Last night or early this morning, lost a good friend, Rob Farmer. He was a fellow attorney, lawyer. He did like library type work, but he succumbed to his battle with cancer. So he's only, I don't know exactly how old he was, but he's under 60, so he's like 56, 58 or something like that. So I don't know if we can also adjourn in his memory as well. That's what I would ask.
That's Jerry Lee Farmer's brother, for those that may not know Rob but know Jerry Lee. So.
And Brendan Irvin is his parents.
Okay. Before we adjourn, I just have a couple quick things. I want to recognize Mary Carter Barton for being in our audience today. She is with Congressman Comer's office, and so we appreciate her coming and listening to our issues and our comments, and appreciate her being here. And then all the department heads that are here, Brian and Roger, Steve, you over there, Mike. I have to think. Appreciate you all being here today. And I just want to reiterate what Jamie said about the farmers market. They have 60 vendors this year at farmers market. So if there's not anything that you want that you couldn't find at farmers market this year, they have everything from arts and crafts to food to flowers to baked goods, just anything that you would be looking for. So get out and support our farmers markets on Saturdays from 9 to noon. Also, I want to give a shout out to my daughter-in-law today, Lindsay Bottom. Today is her birthday, and so I don't ever have a meeting when it's actually that person's birthday. So I'm going to give her a shout out today and wish her a very happy birthday. And then I would ask for a motion to adjourn in memory of Sarah Ann Taylor Hughes and Rob Farmer.
So moved.
Motion by Magistrate Ellis. Is there a second? Second by Magistrate Sleeper. We will have a budget workshop following our meetings as soon as we adjourn. So all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? We're adjourned.
All right. Short and sweet.
I believe that's a record for the short.